Hey, what's up, my frat heads? It's your boy J Rocks. Today I'm gonna be hitting you with another fragrance review. Today we're gonna be reviewing something from the house of Valentino. We're gonna be reviewing Noir Absolute. Now I'm gonna be hitting you with a 3 P's: presentation, price, and performance. Then we get to the scent. Now this is spoilers. I'm gonna be I don't have a bottle right now, but I will be probably getting one maybe next week because I did like this fragrance enough where I want a full bottle. All right, so this bottle has like a studded look to it. Kind of reminds me of when you have that crystal, those cups of crystal or whatever, right? That some people use as collection or to decorate to decorate the house or whatever. But except has a darker tone to it, right? And there is another Uomo, Valentino Uomo, and that has the same look, but that one looks exactly like crystal would look, and that has darker juice. This one's a little bit lighter, and this one has a cool plate. It's gold plated. I thought it looked very sophisticated as far as the bottle presentation. I give it a 10. It's a very nice look. As far as price, this goes for the 100 milli being 3.4 ounces. That goes for $120. But you could go to Google Express on your phone or whatever, get it for about 70. Sometimes they have codes where you end up paying around 55. Now, 55 for what this fragrance brings to the table, I think it's well worth it. I could buy it without thinking twice. I had no regrets. I think it's a spectacular deal at 55. Like I said, go check out Google Express and they'll show you. Just type in the name of the fragrance and so forth. 3.4 ounces usually being the regular size. Then you have your small size being 1.7. Then you have your large. Sometimes it's a 5 ounce. Sometimes it's a 6.7 ounce. All depending on the fragrance itself. Today we're drinking some Grand Marnier cognac. Has a little orange twist to it. As you can see, it's all frozen and chilled. I put it up in the freezer before I pour because when you go to a club, you ask for shots. If you're gonna be drinking shots, ask for it chilled. They put it over ice. It gives it a better flavor, more refreshing, and it doesn't burn as much. All right, so now that helps me loosen up a little bit and get them butterflies out of the stomach and so forth. Now I could get on to my review. Okay, I forgot I had the long sleeve shirt on. So cuff it up right now so I could spray a little bit on my forearm, kind of as a reference as I talk about the fragrance itself. All right, so the projections, it's pretty good. I'll say about an elbow's length. Let's go that far. Is it about that far? Yeah, that's about where we're at. So it's a decent projection, nothing crazy. It'll stay there for a good 2 hours and so forth. But where this really shines as far as performance, where it really gets you is it leaves a big trail. Like what I mean by that is, if I have it on and you're by where my bookshelf is, it might not reach all the way back there. But when I pass by you, you're gonna smell it, and when I leave, it's gonna linger in the air for a while. So if you pass by somewhere and then somebody passes by directly after, the scent is gonna be there. They're gonna be like, oh, like they're gonna catch a whiff. They're gonna know somebody passed by with a fragrance on, right? So as far as the sillage, it's really good, and the projection is still pretty good as well. So I'm pleased with the performance as far as that goes. Now the longevity is a monster. It lasts you a minute. I honestly, I put some on. Where I went? I went to Hollywood, and that was around, I wanna say 11, 11 in the afternoon. Uh, and by about 9, 10 in the night, when I was already on my way back home, I could still smell it on myself. And it wasn't just the skin scent. It wasn't just like all close to the skin. It was like I was still I was still catching whiffs of it when I moved my arms around and stuff. It still lingered in, like if I go like that, it still lingered in the air after, and I could still smell it like that. Like, you know what I mean? So longevity is good. Longevity is an A plus, and the projection still like a B. So I'm pleased as far as the performance. Here it is, Noir Absolute Valentino. This is the color of the liquid in case you're curious. That's how it looks. Let me spray some up on my forearm. In case what I like to do with this one, I think this one is it's very important how you spray it. As far as especially this fragrance because it has such a good sillage. I will spray this on my wrist. I'm not a big fan of spraying on the wrist. It's okay. I usually like to go for the neck and maybe the shoulders. But with this, I definitely go on the wrist because to get the best performance out of the fragrance, right? You put it on your wrist, or sometimes I go on my inner elbows. And you know, I like to when I talk, I like to move my hands around like that and stuff. When I'm out somewhere and I'm talking, I do this a lot. So I'm like, leaving that fragrance all up in the air. So with this one, you get a lot of that. That way, I could be smelling it all day. That's just me. Unless you don't wanna leave it everywhere, then you might wanna go for the shoulders or the chest area. If you leave this on your clothes, I left this on my shirt, and I swear to you, I left this on my shirt. I left my shirt on a chair, and the next morning when I picked up the shirt to put it with all my in the hamper, when I picked it up, the shirt still smelled pretty potent. Like not super super. It didn't project a grip, but I could still smell it, and that was way till the next morning. So just to let you know, it'll be on there for a good while. Now I smelled this immediately after I sprayed. Right after I sprayed, I went like that. And when you spray a cologne, right after you spray, you go like that. The first thing you get is that alcohol scent, and you kind of gotta go like this a little, let it dry down. Then the you get the notes and so forth. I went like that immediately, and I didn't get that alcohol smell. It almost smells like I don't know if it is or isn't a EDP. It might be. I don't know. I didn't even check. It might be an EDP because EDTs usually you could smell that alcohol. It's pretty strong, and this didn't have that. And I know EDPs are oil based, so maybe that's what this is. Because I got the scent right from the start. I didn't get none. I didn't have to wait for it. Yeah, this is a very rich scent, guys. It's I want to say creamy, but for the lack of a better word, no, you know what? I'll go with thick. It's like full of volume. It's kind of like almost like how your moisturizer is kind of thick compared to water, right? It's a thick scent. Has that incense. It smells a little bit like incense and a little bit like I want to say sawdust. When you walk into Home Depot, there's sawdust flying everywhere. They're chopping the wood with the electric saw. You get some of that going with incense. It's like you get those two odors and you classy them up a little. Then it starts kind of changing direction a little, and you start smelling like I'll get like a slight touch of nutmeg or like coffee or something mixed with some of the resins, but it's a slow developing. I think it slowly changes little by little. It's very slow developing because it lasts a long time, so it takes it longer to move through its stages. But like I said, it's a good scent. Uh, Also, this to me, I feel like I don't know. I don't want to say this because I don't like giving fragrances a time of season, age group. I'm a little against that. I don't want to be like biased or whatever, but I do think fragrances have a personality, and this I think it's not for your junior high, high school kids. Maybe someone in college or out of college. This is where you would grab this unless you think like you're younger and you're mature for your age. Maybe you're 16 but you act 23, something like that. Because we all have different personalities, so you can act a lot different even though you're young, and you could be old and act a lot younger. You know what I mean? When I uh when I smell this, what I think, like what pops in my head is if you guys are your sport fans, if you remember Joe Namath, I picture someone like Joe Namath in his fur coat, Kango hat, Prada glasses, and his Johnny Walker, just living like a superstar. like all out celebrity. That's kind of the, I feel like this smells like someone that would be wearing that and looking that way. This will go perfect with that. Now we don't now walk around in fur coats and do all that, but this is that type of situation. Like, okay, so like if you work in an office or something, I think this will be good. This will work for that. This will work if you're on a date, on a night out, on the town with your boys or with your girl. This is good for that. I don't think I would wear this. I mean, you can wear it casually. I don't think I would. I think I'll go with something else unless like you're limited in how many fragrances you have or whatever. But you're most likely you're gonna have something better for just your everyday kicking it use. Now, needless to say, I like everything about this fragrance. I like the bottle. I like the price. I like the performance, the scent, everything. I don't really want to. I don't know. I don't really want to throw a number out there as far as the grade, but it's good. I'd say maybe a B plus to an A, somewhere around an 8, 8.5. So yeah, that's my final verdict on this. If you smelled this before, let me know what you think. Throw your comments down below. Interested to hear everybody else's opinion. You already know what's up. Hit that like button to help your boy out right here. Help the channel spread out. And oh yeah, in the description down below, if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, go to the links on the description. Follow me, I'll follow you back. Always looking to meet other fellow enthusiasts, see what they post up. Maybe they introduce me to new fragrances or whatever I have not been familiar with. They might grab my eye. Also, I'm a collector of, I like collecting stuff. So sometimes I just like a bottle and I'm gonna buy it, whether I smelled it or not. Uh, so there you go. If I see a picture, I might be like, that looks tight. I'm ordering it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyways, glad you guys stopped by, took some time out of the day to check out my channel, and I'll check you guys out next time.